The wait is almost over. After 9 episodes of political maneuvering, buried secrets, and jaw-dropping betrayals inside Gilead's walls, The Testaments is heading into its Season 1 finale. If Episode 9 is anything to go by, the show is not planning to go out quietly. We're talking about a murder, the eyes closing in, and 3 young women whose entire futures hang in the balance. So before May 27th gets here, let's break down everything we know about what to expect in Episode 10. Before we get into the finale, it's worth revisiting just how much Episode 9 upended everything. For most of the season, Dr. Grove has been this looming, predatory presence, someone whose crimes existed in whispers and sidelong glances. Episode 9 made those crimes undeniable. And the one who finally acted on that knowledge wasn't Aunt Lydia, who had the power. It wasn't Daisy, who arguably had the most personal investment. It was Becca, his own daughter. Armed with nothing but garden shears and the weight of everything she had just learned about the man who raised her, Becca took matters into her own hands as brutally and irreversibly as possible. That scene of Dr. Grove in the bathtub, with Becca standing over him, is going to be talked about long after this season wraps. It was devastating, raw, and completely in character for someone who had spent her entire life being told to be quiet and obedient. This was Becca refusing to be either of those things just once. But Gilead does not forgive that kind of refusal. Agnes, still operating from a place of hope and misplaced trust, turned to her father for help. She genuinely believed that her family would protect Becca, that they would see the circumstances for what they were. Instead, Garth and the Eyes were called. And just like that, Episode 9 ended with Becca's fate completely up in the air, and Agnes left to reckon with the consequences of trusting a system that was never built to protect women like them. Meanwhile, Daisy's storyline took a sharp turn of its own. Now operating under the identity of Plum, her position inside Gilead's structure is more precarious than ever. Episode 9 gave us very little resolution on where she actually stands going into the finale, and that ambiguity feels intentional. The cold, hard reality of Becca's situation heading into Episode 10. In Gilead, killing your father is not treated as self-defense. It is not treated as a response to abuse. It is patricide, and under Gilead's legal framework, that is a capital offense. The Eyes already have her. That's the part that makes this so difficult to watch. There is no ambiguity about whether she's been taken. It happened before the credits rolled on Episode 9. The question the finale has to answer is what happens next. Does Gilead make an example of her? Do Agnes and Daisy find a way to intervene before it's too late? And if they try to help, what are they risking in the process? What makes Becca's arc so compelling is that she has never been the loudest or the most strategic character in this story. She's the one who followed the rules, who kept her head down, who found quiet ways to survive. And Episode 9 showed us what it looks like when a person like that finally breaks. The tragedy is that breaking, in Gilead, is the one thing that cannot be forgiven. Agnes and Daisy are the other 2 sides of this triangle, and the finale is going to force both of them into corners they cannot talk their way out of. Agnes is dealing with something arguably just as damaging as Becca's arrest, the moment she realized her trust in her parents was catastrophically misplaced. She went to her father expecting compassion and got a state apparatus instead. That is a specific kind of loss. It doesn't leave a visible wound, but it changes everything about how you navigate the world going forward. Episode 10 is almost certainly going to put Agnes in a position where she has to decide what she actually values and what she's willing to sacrifice for it. Daisy, on the other hand, has spent this entire season operating between 2 worlds, the one she came from and the one she's been pulled into. As Plum, she has a certain amount of cover, but cover only goes so far when the Eyes are actively looking. Her storyline in the finale will likely come down to whether she can find a way to be useful to Becca and Agnes without completely burning the identity she's spent all season building. The 3 of them together represent something the show has been building toward since the first episode, the idea that survival in Gilead isn't individual. It never has been. The question the finale is asking is whether solidarity is enough when the system has already decided someone's fate. Season finales live or die on whether they earn the tension they've built, and The Testaments has spent 9 episodes stacking the pressure in ways that feel genuinely dangerous for the characters we've come to care about. Becca is in custody. Agnes is shaken. Daisy is somewhere in between. And Gilead, as always, is watching. The finale has a lot to answer for. It has to deal with Becca's fate in a way that feels honest rather than convenient. It has to let Agnes process what betrayal from family actually means in a place where family loyalty is treated as sacred. And it has to give Daisy a moment that justifies all the slow-burning work her storyline has done all season. Whether it sticks the landing or not, May 27th cannot come fast enough. Make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're caught up, and clear your schedule, because if episode 9 is any indication, the finale is going to demand your full attention. If you're ready to see how all of this resolves, The Testaments Season 1 Episode 10 drops on May 27th on Hulu. International viewers can catch it through Disney+, which carries most Hulu original content in regions outside the United States. The episode goes live simultaneously across regions, so no matter where you are watching from, you won't have to dodge spoilers for long. Thanks for watching.